Hey, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Racha HaKodash. Double honor to the apostles of Great Millstone. Honors, salutations, and blessings to the house of David, which is the elect, starting with the 144,000 prophets that are preaching the gospel of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai in all sincerity, diligence, and truth, and to the rest of the men, women, and children that are listening and learning, staying in the Holy Spirit, and keeping the faith of Yahweh Shai day in and day out. So this is just a real quick article. Came across it a couple of days ago. I wanted to touch on it before, but through the Spirit, the Lord just have it come out right now. This is coming from CBS News. It says New Jersey soldiers prepare for deployment to Syria and Iraq. Okay, it says soldiers from New Jersey are joining the fight against an Islamic militant group in the Middle East. This will be the largest deployment of New Jersey Army National Guard soldiers since 2008. Okay, and I just find this the timing, it's no coincidence that you have the whole Red Sea, escalations with the Houthis and Hezbollah and Hamas and Iran and the 48ers. Now you have U.S. and UK and other countries that are part of that coalition that are over there. And now you have America sending more troops or more soldiers to that region. All right. And, this is something that, according to prophecy, we understand, was bound to happen because the scriptures tells us that these, troops, they were going to be sent. American, military men, all right, and women were going to be sent over to that region. All right, and them being sent to that region isn't for them to come back victorious. It's not for them to become heroes or receive a Purple Heart for their courageous and honorable fighting. It's ultimately for them to die over there. Okay, so it says Lieutenant Colonel Omar Minot is among 1,500 New Jersey Army National Guard soldiers deploying to Iraq and Syria. This is his fifth deployment to the Middle East, he said. Now, they've been over there fighting in Iraq for, over a decade. Okay. You had, I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, Obama declared the war against Iraq, victorious, or maybe it was George W. Bush. I'm not too sure, but that was over, a decade ago or around so. So why are you sending your largest deployment of soldiers coming from New Jersey over there now? All right, they do a lot of these different deployments under the guise of for some other reason, but ultimately it's all brewing up to this the valley of the multitudes, okay, or the valley of decisions, as it is written in the book of Joel, the third chapter. It says his deployment is part of Operation Inherent Resolve, a military campaign to defeat ISIS, and they've been constantly using ISIS as a boogeyman, as the face of the reason why they got to go over there. But that's has become a broken record. All right, ISIS over in the Middle East, it does not threaten the American or the American living standards or living conditions. It's not a threat to America. All right, I'll just put it like that. So why are they really deploying the largest largest Army National Guard since 2008? What is the real reason? All right, it says we have the people we need, we have the training we need, we have the equipment that we need to fight and win, Minot said. Ahead of the deployment, military families watched as New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy and other officials honored the soldiers from the 44th Infantry Brigade combat team at a special ceremony Sunday in Trenton. By doing your part to support Operation Inherent Resolve, you are protecting peace and prosperity. not only for our state, not only for our country, but for the entire free world, Murphy said. So yeah, they make these speeches, say these things just to ship them off to go over there, and ultimately they're gonna die there. Right? Let's get a quick scripture. This is the book of Second Esdras. All right, chapter 16, verse let's start at verse 33. It says, the virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms, and the women shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. In the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine. Okay? So it says, in the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed. What wars are we talking about? What the wars that we are currently living in right now, the active wars that we're seeing, escalate day after day, because the wars that are happening over there, they're going to get to a point where you're going to have millions of soldiers that are going to die. Okay, and it's going to get to a point where there's not going to be enough active military, members in the United States military and other militaries across the world to where they're going to induct a draft. You already see that happening in Ukraine. All right, they call it conscription or something to that effect. You see, so they're going over there thinking that, oh yeah, this is just going to be another deployment. Just be gone for like 5, 7, 8 months, whatever, and then I'll be back. And nah, there's no coming back from this one, buddy. It says, by doing your part, I read that. It says, Minot said he's ready for the dangers ahead, but being away for his family for 10 months won't be easy. So this is a 10-month deployment. All right. So basically the whole 2024. And we can already see, and we're only in the first month of 2024, and we see how active that region has been already. So how much more as time progresses, as prophecy continues to be fulfilled, all right, as the Lord continues to gather the nations, it's only going to get more and more dangerous, more and more, chances of those things, those fights getting more and more deadlier. It says, with a two-parent household, having me leave is a challenge for our 4 kids, Minot said, but my wife she's pretty strong. And that's why they're going to turn into, that's why it says here, the virgins, the young women shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. All right. And it says the women shall mourn, having no husbands, and the daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. All right. So what you're seeing here that is developing now is this prophecy, is taking shape, all right, starting to formulate, because once these troops continue to go to that region, it's for the purpose of them being destroyed in that region. All right, actually, let's get this scripture here in the book of Joel, the 2nd chapter. All right, around verse 20, it says, but I will remove far off from you the northern army. Okay, and the northern army is America. All right, Babylon the Great. And will drive him into a land barren and desolate, with his face toward the east sea, and his hinder part toward the utmost sea. And his stink shall come up, and his ill savor shall come up, because he hath done great things. All right, so his face toward the east sea and his hinder part toward the utmost sea is speaking about, here they have it as the Dead Sea and those at the rear in the Mediterranean Sea. All right, but let's go to Google and type in Middle East, Middle East region. See what comes up. Images. All right. So you have actually let's use right. So they have it. You know what? Let's use this one. Right. So as you see, they're sending troops over there to the Syria and Iraq region, which over there in Yemen, you have in the Red Sea is where a lot of the conflict right now is popping off. All right, with the U.S. and the UK navies that are doing strikes down here in Yemen, but you see this area, which this area in the scriptures is prophetically called the Valley of Yahweh Shaphat, all right, which is the Lord's judgment. Because as you see, ultimately, this land is where the Holy Land is at, all right, Israel. So the Lord is gathering these troops to this region, right, to ultimately do what? To bring judgment. So now when you go back to Joel, the second chapter, it says, let me see something. Let me see if any cross references another um, or any so they have the Mediterranean there. So they have the Eastern and Western Sea. So it's more than likely that let me just so they just have Eastern and Western. They have the Dead Sea and the Mediterranean Sea. So let's see. Let's see. Let me type in where is the Dead Sea at? Dead Sea. No, it's in Israel. Map. Okay. So they have it to where the Dead Sea or the yeah, the Dead Sea would be considered the Eastern Sea, and then you have the Mediterranean Sea, which would be the Western Sea, right? But on here, that it's basically the same thing. It's going to be in this region because even if you do it, toward the Red Sea and the Persian Gulf, it's still this whole area that you see right here. Nonetheless, at the end of the day, what do you have happening? You have these troops going to this region, okay? And the point of the matter is why it says, "And his stink shall come up, and his ill savor shall come up." What is the stink? As it says there, it says the stench of their rotting bodies will rise over the land. Because when they go over there, they're not going, like I said, they're not going over there to be victorious. It's going to be a lot of mass casualties of the Babylon or America's army men that are sent to those regions. So this is why this is very this news that we're reading is very pertinent, especially to the times that we're in right now, because you also have this thing to where a lot of branches in the military are short on recruitment of military members, all right, soldiers. They're saying that this is the lowest it's been in some time, and they're having a hard time trying to recruit people to join the military. So what is going to ultimately end up happening is, like I said, they're going to have to institute a draft because of the mass casualties that are going on over there in the Middle East, as we just read in Joel the second chapter, his stink, the rotting bodies, and then on top of that, the fact that they already have a shortage of of people joining the military. So now they're going to have to force people to join the military. And I was reading, I forgot exactly which country it was over in Europe. I want to say it was Poland, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but they were basically saying how they just updated a law to some effect to where if you don't respond to military service within 6 hours, then and go to the place that you were appointed to go to basically sign up and whatever, then you're going to be subjugated to at least 3 years in prison. All right, so let's go back here and finish this out. It says, the wife of another soldier said it will be tough to have her husband leave, but she's relying on friends and family for support. Daddy's being deployed to Iraq. Daniel Purser, who has an 11-month-old daughter, said, this is his second deployment, so we'll be excited when he comes back. Well, he ain't coming back. And you see, you got this Jake, right? This is Minot.
It's pretty strong.
Another soldier I talked to is leaving his wife and 11-month-old daughter behind. His wife tells me the coming months will be tough. She's relying on her friends and family for support.
Daddy's being deployed to Iraq. This is his second deployment, so we'll be excited when he comes back.
In the meantime, families are planning to keep in touch by writing letters and talking on Skype.
It's a little different now than when I first came in, when you had to stand in line for the one phone and then wait to get connected.
Family members say they're praying for their loved ones' safe return. In Trenton, Madeline Wright, CBS News, Philadelphia.
Right. So they praying for their family's safe return, but those prayers are not being heard because that is not the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. All right. We are in a time of judgment. We're in a time where the Lord is gathering these nations. Okay. And the thing is, people don't understand why this is happening. This is why knowing the prophecies, all right, knowing Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Let me get that real quick in Jeremiah 9, verse 24. This is why the word of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is the most important information and knowledge to know. Jeremiah chapter 9, verse 24. But let him that glorifieth glory in this, that he understandeth and knoweth me, that I am Yahweh, which executeth loving kindness, judgment, and righteousness in the earth. For in these things I delight, saith the Lord. Okay, so that's what you're supposed to glorify, knowing knowing the Lord and knowing the will of the Lord. And the will of the Lord is known to what? To bring judgment to Babylon the Great, to put an end to the wickedness of this age, and to usher in the kingdom of heaven, which is the kingdom of Israel. And we're seeing all of that taking shape as we speak. Joel chapter 3, I'm going to go straight to the point. Verse 12, it says, let the heathen be awakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Put ye, right, in the valley of Jehoshaphat is synonymous to the, as it says in Joel, the 2nd chapter, the land, a land desolate and barren, all right, which is ultimately this region, all right, the so-called Middle Eastern region, where as we see, things are becoming more and more intensified, all right, more and more hot. It says, put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full, the fats overflow, for their greatness, their wickedness is great. So when the harvest is ripe, all right, that's when it is the most opportune and most is the best time to pick the fruit off of the tree, because you don't want to do it too early, because it wouldn't, it's not going to be as sweet. And then if you don't want to do it too late, because then it will start to rot. So when it's ripe, that's the best time to swing that sickle. All right, so to gather the fruits from the high parts of the trees that you can't just grab with your own arm. It says multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of Yahweh is near in the valley of decision. Okay, so multitudes of are coming, thousands upon thousands are waiting in the valley of decision. That there the day of the Lord will soon arrive. All right, and that's why you're having this deployment of these nations, military men going to that region. So, with that, Lord willing, I just want to bring that out. This was edifying and exhorting the city elect. Till next time, giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Shalom.